Welcome to the Comedy Here Often podcast. I'm your host, Kevy. This week, my guests are musician Louise Burns and actor Devon Alexander. Heckler's is the best comedy club in the country.
Really?
It's in Victoria.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Devon actually has a great story about the hotel there.
Yeah, that hotel's scary.
Oh my God, is it like
The Ramada? Is it the Ramada?
Yeah, just tell her. Tell her the story.
So, all the comedians that get booked for the club, they get to stay at the hotel.
Okay.
So I got there at the hotel, and just when you go in, it kind of the energy, because I go off of energy, and the energy was very low in there, dim lighting, flickering some places. I'm, oh, okay, cool, whatever. Go to the front, get my key, go to my room. As soon as I go to my room, the first thing I smell is mold.
No.
So I'm like, my nose hairs were like, So
Smell like Subway in there? Like mushrooms?
Smell like Subway.
Oh, shoot.
So then I go to the front. This is what's weird. So I go to the front and I go, hey, I think I got mold in my room. And when you go to most hotels, they're going to be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I can't believe that happened to you. Our apologies. Here's your next key, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
This guy goes, oh, my bad. And starts looking for the next key. I got my bad, like he knew that was the moldy room. Like he knew that was the moldy room and he messed up. I was like, I shouldn't give the key.
Oh, I gave him the mold room, yeah.
And he gave me another room. So I go in the other room.
He's like, oh, wait, that's the murder room. Okay, give me that back.
So I go in the other room, and at first it was cool. So I stayed there the first night, and then the next morning, I'm going to like shower, and I go and look in the shower in the back. It's like a long 2-3 strands of hair just coming out of the tiles, and I'm like,
no.
Then I start looking at like the chandeliers and like the light lamps. Look like they haven't been dusted in like years.
Oh my God.
And this is the worst thing you should ever do if you go staying in a hotel is read the reviews of the hotel as you're lying down on the bed. So I did that like an idiot. So I'm like reading it and I'm scrolling it. One of them was so bad, like it said like. Actually, like if I have time, I'll read it because I screenshotted it. It was that bad a review, and it terrified me because Kevy stayed at a hotel too.
Yeah. And my door wouldn't close, and I had all this equipment. I was like, my door won't close. And they were like, well, you're only staying there till the morning.
Really? Wow.
I need my door to close in my hotel room.
That is the whole point. Otherwise, just sleep in a hall. I'll sleep in the hallway.
I'll just take the door off.
Yeah. You know
Anyone
what?
who wants to come in and maybe steal my equipment, that's fine.
It's an open book.
I love it. If you still have this on your phone.
Oh, I do. Okay. Is this the one that's...
You screenshot?
I screenshotted the review because it was so disgusting. So, Chelsea Mater. She gave it 1 out of 5.
Wow. Chelsea.
Just stayed here for 2 nights, brackets, unfortunately. Oh. And it was the worst hotel I've ever been to. Can't even call it a hotel. It's a dump. All in capital letters. Blood spray on our wall. Probably as a result of someone shooting up.
You made Louise Home Alone it.
I did. Sorry.
It's not over. Pube-like hairs in our beds. Disgusting.
No.
If you have any standards for yourself at all, don't stay here. Behind the beds have never been dusted before. Everyone on here who says it's 5 stars must be on something, just like everyone we saw at this hotel and outside of it. I was like, whoa.
No.
And I read that, and I was on the bed, I'm like, she's exactly right. It does smell like piss. There was a junkie outside the hotel.
Oh my God.
Maybe that's the way that's right.
Oh my God.
I wrapped myself in all my jackets and all my jeans, and I'm like lying on like a fetal position.
Like a force field, dude.
And then literally, like when I was there, I felt myself getting like sick. Like my eyes started, whatever. And I think it was one of the most. Literally, when I left the next day, I leave the hotel. Better energy, like it's like one of those places. Like it felt like people, like a lot of prostitutes and like drug deals and stuff go down in there.
It was like
you
heavy.
Just feel like the energy in
Had
there
that
was
murder aura.
Yeah, it did.
Heaviness.
And there was a restaurant
Homicide
attached
aura.
right to it called Crow's Nest. So the breakfast, it's delicious.
Oh, it's very
Really?
good. It's very
You go in there, the energy's so
Yeah.
hey,
It's very good.
and the
It's very
food's good. It's amazing, and it's funny. It's called Crow's Nest because it's attached to a death hotel.
Yeah.
Boom, mic drop.
Vulture
Mic
nest.
drop.
Symbolism.
I said they need to start a new franchise called Crow's Nest that go to all the shitty hotels and attach themselves to all the shitty hotels.
That's
Crow's Nest. Crow's.
Yeah,
dead hotel.
totally. Great food, horrible energy.
Exactly.
Wow.
Winning combination.
So speaking of death hotels, I just have one sort of small anecdote. And
Tell us the worst.
First, to preface this, I am a horrible storyteller. I don't know how to do it. So just
you're gonna do
bear
great.
with me.
We'll help you along.
It's not a whole lot of a story anyway. But anyway.
You've been a touring musician since you were like 13 or something.
Yes.
So you've been stayed in a lot of hotels.
I've stayed in a lot of hotels in my life. And I mean, a lot of them have been great. A lot of them have been horrific. So this one, we were on tour 2003. It's a Girls Garage Tour, which is an offspin of the Warp Tour. So we got 2 tour buses and there's 3 or 4 bands, and it's like
Was Liz Fair on it?
no, it was Us. Oh, Lennon. Remember that girl? She had like a maudlin hit in like the early aughts, like sort of piano ballad, like sad. And Barassi, who is John Spencer's sister's band.
Oh, okay.
And The Start. And the bass player.
Start. Amy Echo?
Yeah, you know. Do you know Amy?
Yeah,
oh my
bit.
God, that's amazing.
Yeah.
She was my idol.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I was like, who is this woman? I want to be her. Eric Sanger, who was in the band at the time, is one of my best friends. He lives in Austin, but like he like showed me The Cure and like changed my life. Anyway, on that tour, we went through a lot of American cities, a lot of which I can't remember, but one particular place is where Jeffrey Dahmer did all his...
Minnesota.
Yeah. Milwaukee,
Or
Minnesota.
Milwaukee, yeah.
Milwaukee.
So-
I heard there's a lot of haunted stuff in Milwaukee, man.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, I heard. Like,
Yeah. So now I have two memories, and sometimes they get, I don't know, like, you know, when your memories get together and like
Jumbled up. You don't
they
know
combine and
exactly,
it's a new
yeah.
memory, but it's not accurate, but it is in a way. Anyway, I have this memory of in the venue, there was a swimming pool that was abandoned attached to it. And we all like went to that side and like were screaming and like scaring. I think Lacey and Tasha were really scared. And I remember being like scared, but pretending I'm fine. It's cool. I'm cool.
Then I'm gonna be off someday. So
yeah,
I'm cool with
exactly.
this.
I'm like, this is what I'm supposed to, I am supposed to be into this. So I'm going to, you know.
Yeah.
Went back to the hotel and turns out it's the hotel that Jeffrey Dahmer like killed
people at?
Yeah. And like, did he hide them in the walls or something? Or like what the...
I don't know. I know he kept parts in his fridge.
Oh, Jesus. So anyway, we were
And
at that
sexual
hotel
intercourse with them, yeah.
and we actually couldn't stay because it was too weird. We just couldn't do it. We're like, nope. Has that ever happened to you? And you're like, I cannot be at this hotel. I'm going to
Can I
leave.
just ask the elephant in the room?
Yeah.
If that's the hotel where he killed 8 people in the walls, or
close the hotel.
Yeah, why is that still a hotel? That's
I don't
what I want to
know.
know.
Yeah.
I don't know. And this is the part of my memory
time to
that it's
renovate.
like, yeah. I'm like, is that a real thing that happened? Yeah. You know what?
We gave you the 8 killed room. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
Yeah, the murder room. My
We gave you
bad.
the murder
My bad.
room.
It's not black mold. It's actually just like old blood and coagulated blood that's been eaten by maggots or whatever.
Yeah.
Seriously, how is that still a hotel? That
I don't
shouldn't
know.
even be- if
I
anything,
don't
be like
know.
a historical site or like some kind of haunted house thing that happens every house.
Yeah.
But like to actually have people like yourselves.
Oh my God.
Well,
it was insane. Now that I
know,
think about it, what the hell?
There's a hotel downtown LA, and it's where that woman from Vancouver. It looked like she was possessed in the elevator.
Yes.
And then they just found her in the
In
you
that
know about
tank.
this? The water tank on
Yeah.
on the rooftop.
Yeah.
But there's no way she could have gotten in there by herself.
Yeah.
Because it was locked. And so it's like a mystery how she got in there and drowned. And also, that's the water for the hotel. So people were like, her body fluids for weeks.
Jeez.
What hotel is this?
It's called it's across the street from Gretchen's, my girl's place. It's on Skid Row.
Don't
It's
tell
like-
me, is it the
first of all,
Alexandria?
Skid Row- anything
What's
on
that?
Skid Row, I'm not going
Alexandria?
No, the Kiefer. I can't remember. I can't remember.
We'll Google this later.
It's
Either way, I'm not
so-
staying there.
No,
Yeah.
you won't. No, too much
good.
blood spray on the wall for you. I think.
Yeah.
I'm good. I had a bad
yeah.
experience. Not bad experience, a weird experience on Skid Row. It was just weird because I'd never been on there before. So for a person who's never been,
Yeah.
and then get dropped there like late on a Saturday night from Uber.
Mm-hmm.
I was supposed to meet up with Dino actually.
Yeah.
At this club, and he's like, "Yo, meet me here." I was going on there. He's like, "Yo, meet me there at 10:45." I was like, "Okay, cool." So I didn't know who he's gonna be with or nothing. So I'm like, I want to get there a little early just so I don't, inconvenience them or whatever. So I got there around like 10:30, and then the Uber driver drives me up to like this dark alley, and like you see like a spotlight with a guy like on like one of those podiums, like right by the front, look like the valet dude. And then that's it. Like no one's outside. It's just I don't even hear music or nothing. It was dark, and I just see this one guy in this thing. So I look at the Uber driver. I'm like, "Is this the spot?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "He's like, you never been here before?" I was like, "No." He's like, "Well, I've never been here before either." I was like,
Oh my God.
I was like, "Well, thank you." So then now I'm looking at the door and I see the guy at the podium just looking at me because we're the only car there just pulled up and I'm not coming out. So he's looking at me, I'm looking at him. So I'm just like,
about ballet?
so I was like, "Okay, frick, let me just get out." So I get out the car and I go to the guy. I'm like, "Hey, I forgot what the spot was called. Is this so and so?" He's like, "Oh yeah, it's in the back," and he points like towards the alley, and I'm like, that doesn't helpful. Like that's better. So then I walk towards the alley, and then luckily like I see like some people like smoking outside, like they were just like that's part of the area where they're allowed to go out to the club and smoke, and I see like a big bouncer guy. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I walk in. It was a cool night, but like that spot is like one of those hidden gem things. But I was already freaking out because I was like, I see like when you're driving, you see like tents and stuff, like kind of like East Hastings. I'm like,
Yeah.
where is this brother? I should have Googled this before I got in
Yeah.
high school. I didn't know.
Yeah, downtown LA is freaky, man. It's
My
a
girl
different
lives
energy,
there,
man.
and she's been there so long that I think she's unaware of the danger she's in because she's used to it. Because it is a fucking prison cafeteria.
Yeah,
It's just so crazy and so extreme and loud all
compared
the
to
time.
East Hastings.
Yeah, because East Hastings is sad, but it's not scary. I don't think. I don't
Yeah.
think it's dangerous.
Thank you. I'm not
Right?
scared. I'm not scared for my life when I walk down East.
No,
Yeah,
me
no, yeah,
neither.
yeah.
It's really, really sad.
I don't care about
Skid
you.
Row. I'm scared for my
Yeah,
life.
yeah,
Yeah, for
As you
sure.
should be.
As it should
Yeah.
be.
As you should be.
Right?
I've only been like, I feel like on East Hastings, I walk down there all the time, and like, you know, the people have a lot of issues and they're in a lot of trouble, and it really sucks. And I have a lot of empathy for them because they still have self-awareness. I actually had this
Exactly.
a wonderful experience with a man who was having a moment. He was very much like in it. I don't know what he was tripping on, but he wasn't there, and he was doing the thing, you know, a lot of body movements, and I walked by. He was doing his thing.
Tango.
He was doing I was dancing or whatever, and I walked by, and he was swearing a lot, you know, just like fuck, shit, fuck, as you know, whatever. And I walked by, and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am," and he steps back, and he like gestures for me to pass with his arms.
He puts his coat on a puddle
Yeah,
for
it
you.
was like so.
You're like,
I'm
chivalry is alive and well.
That's exactly what I thought. I'm like,
I'm sorry, ma'am.
Thank
And as
you.
soon as you leave,
Yeah. Yeah. The really good
chivalry's
manners.
you can't say chivalry's not dead ever
Yes.
again.
I was
this
like,
guy.
here are the manners that I wish everyone had.
Exactly.
Thank you. So I keep walking, and I'm actually coming here, obviously. And then he continues on. He starts swearing again and doing the thing. And then he yells over to me, "Sorry, ma'am," because he's like, he knows he's
Yeah,
swearing
yeah.
because he can't control it. It was like the sweetest interaction. It just broke my
That's
heart.
nice.
It was so
that
sweet.
guy's more polite than most people.
I know. He was so nice
I would
and
have asked him
gentle.
what he was on to give other guys to be as.
Honestly, yeah.
It's like,
Or
what do
like-
you want? All these other dudes need it.
Or just like, let me just give my regards to your mother for bringing you up well. Like
Yeah.
there's
Oh,
just
that's
it was
important.
like
Something stuck.
something stuck in there, and I
Something
was
stuck.
like, you have I respect you. Thank you. Very
That's
sweet.
so polite. Did you know that Maine and Hastings is the name of the theme song from 28 Days Later?
No.
I mean, does that make
Oh,
total
is it
sense?
by Godspeed You Black Emperor? Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
that makes
yeah.
total sense because it's
Yeah.
friends of mine from New York come here and they're like, "Holy shit, this is crazy over here." It's like you're
Yeah.
from Brooklyn.
I know. It's so sad.
They just don't see it all in one space. They see it like
Yeah.
spread out.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, yeah.
when
For
you put it
sure.
all in one, they're like, "Holy crap,
Yeah.
this is."
No.
Yeah.
You know, we were talking about sort of like the hotel room and the disgustingness. I had to quickly get educated on bed bugs one time because I thought I had
yeah.
them.
No.
And
Oh,
so
yeah.
now I know everything about bed bugs. But here's what happened is that it was like 5 a.m. and I saw a bug on my bed. And I was like, is that a bed bug? And then I had a mosquito bite. I'm like, that was definitely a bed bug. So I threw my bed out in the middle of the night because I was like, no. Because
Yeah.
our friend Steve, he toured. He got bed bugs on the road
Yeah.
once. Needed to burn all his clothes
Yep.
and stuff. So I was uneducated and acting rash. So I
Yeah.
threw my bed out middle of the night. And then I just had no bed now. And
Yeah.
then I started educating myself after that. And it's like, don't throw your bed out because you're going to drag the
All
bed
through the
bugs
house.
through the whole. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, this is the worst thing I could
Yeah.
have done. And now I don't have a bed. And then it turned out I paid for a bed bug sniffing dog to
Yep.
come in.
Wow.
Wasn't bed bugs.
Oh yeah.
I could have told you this is mosquito.
Yeah, because they have like their
Where were you?
threes.
Bro, I've had bed bugs and it wasn't for me because I had a dirty roommate. But you could see,
You could-
could
they're
see
in
the little
threes,
things.
yeah.
At first, I thought it was mosquitoes because I had my laptop in my room, in my bed. And I was like, "What's this stuff on the screen, whatever?" But it's happening a couple nights, and I'm like, "This is weird." And then they like those the warm kind of corner
Yeah.
spots. So you
Yeah.
lift up your mattress, you can
Yeah, yeah.
see them there and
Yeah.
stuff. Bro, we had the dog come in, sniff up. Yes, clarify we had it. You have to get all your clothes from your closet and then your stuff, wash them, and then
Yeah.
put them in a garbage bag.
Yeah,
and we have
yeah,
to put
yeah.
them in the middle of our kitchen,
Yeah.
and anything on the walls and like all our furniture, put it towards the middle of the room. So I did that for the whole apartment. My roommate, who's the dirty one who got us the bed bugs, didn't do that because he was irresponsible and an alcoholic.
Piss Jar Jerry.
Yes, Piss Jar Jerry. That's his name.
No, I
Oh,
don't
just
even.
gave him that name right now, but
Piss
it's
Jar
fitting.
Jerry because
You
this
just
is.
gave him that name now.
Listen,
Yeah, it's fitting though.
I'm an easy roommate. Like I like here is like keep the common areas decently clean,
Yeah.
and then we're cool. I don't give a shit what you do in your room. That's your personal business.
Yeah.
So his room and my room was right beside each other. So I'll have to walk past his room to get like wherever I'm going, regardless. So one day I'm walking past his room and I'm smelling this smell. Even though I cleaned the whole apartment, I'm still smelling this whiff of something.
Uh-oh.
One day I was like, hey, let me just check his room. Open his room and it's disgusting. like clothes everywhere, used tissue papers where I hope it was from nose blowing your
yeah,
nose,
yeah.
but I
Cold,
highly
probably,
doubt it. Cigarette butts, and you're not allowed to smoke in the unit.
That's the worst.
Used condom wrappers, like
Ew.
things everywhere, right? And in the
No.
middle of the room, there's this bucket, like an industrial bucket, like you see from like a warehouse or something, like a white
Like a
one.
mop bucket.
Yeah, like a mop bucket. I'm like, what the hell is it? And I look in the bucket, and there's like, I kid you not, I don't know if it was piss or puke or something, but something just floating in there, and a half-eaten pizza just floating.
He's like, this
Disgusting.
is my project I've been working on.
And the joke is, I don't even remember the last time we ordered pizza. I was like, oh! And then all of a sudden, once I saw that, I just felt the energy in the room get like very weird and dark. I got the hell out. And then, lo and behold, a week, 2 weeks after that, the dog came, got the bed bugs. We had to go through the whole crap. And this is the other joke. He was an alcoholic and he had to go through rehab. So the week he went to rehab was the week I had to clean for the bed bugs.
That's
So they I don't know if it works. The people come they come 1 week or 1 day. They do the fumigation for the day or whatever, and they have to come back another week. So it's a 2-step process. So you have to clean your apartment. They come the first day. They came. They saw that his room was still dirty and everything else was clean. Then he's like, "Well, it doesn't make sense because if it's coming from his room, it's gonna transfer out regardless."
Just like can't even.
And I was really pissed off. So then, right after the first one, I told him, "Hey, clean it." Then he went to rehab. So the landlord came. She's like, "Hey, you guys better clean it again. If not, I'm gonna evict you guys because I'm paying for these people to come out every time,
Yeah.
and it's costing me." So then I was like, "Frick, who has to clean their room?"
Yeah.
Me.
No.
So I went, got a hazmat suit from Dollarama. Put that.
You can buy that.
Breaking Bad shit.
Like,
I
ooh.
brought something to protect my whole body.
No kidding.
And I was
Oh my
big garbage can,
God.
just throwing everything in the garbage. Oh, I forgot to mention the juicy part. This is what we call him piss can
Piss can
Jerry.
Jerry.
Yeah, yeah.
He had
Piss jar
empty
Jerry.
Mickeys and 2 6 bottles all over his room, filled with piss.
Yeah.
I don't even.
Louise can't even believe it.
I don't have the words.
I can't even make this up if I tried. I can't make this up if I
God.
tried. So then I had to pour all that, clean the whole room spick and span, got everything cleaned up. Bedbugs is no joke, man. I never want to endure any. Now every time I go to hotels and places, I spread them on the whole sheet
I do that
before I
too.
even look.
I look for the little blood speckles.
Yep.
I just came back from Toronto and I stayed at the Bisha Hotel, which literally seems like a nightclub because I got there at 1 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday night. People jammed outside and they're dressing out, drinking, smoking, and there's like a bouncer in front. It's like all black doors, and I'm like, look at the driver. I'm like, this is the hotel. He's like, yeah. I'm like, no, this is a nightclub. He's like, no, this is the hotel. Go to the front. The bouncer's there. Yeah, this is the hotel. Walk in. They have like this nice lounge right beside there. It's like a nightclub vibe, whatever. Go to the bed. I spread open. There's all these little hairs. I didn't even sleep here one time. I called downstairs. I'm like, listen, there's all this. They just put the sheet back up, fold the blanket back up. They don't take out the sheets.
Oh yeah.
Ew.
Think about that.
Oh my God.
They're gonna save so much time. They'll just come in there, maybe make up the bed, check the sheets. A lot of the time, they don't even change the sheets.
I always check the sheets.
Check the
Because
sheets.
my band got bed bugs on tour. I did not, but
Really?
yeah, we were playing Philadelphia, and we had booked this hotel. Well, I mean, someone at the label did it, and it was like we all checked our rooms, and we noticed the diatomaceous earth everywhere, which is a bad sign because diatomaceous earth is like that powdered whatever, and that's like used
Like
to like
odor
prevent.
eater shit.
No, it looks like that, but it's meant to prevent bed bugs from like crossing over.
Oh,
yeah.
bad sign.
So they put a wall for the bed bugs. They
Yeah.
built a wall.
Yeah. And so 2 of my bandmates who shared one room together, and myself and my other guy shared one room, and they got bed bugs, and I felt so bad. Like, oh my God, I can't. And so from that point on, I was like, dude, give me all the hotel names, and I
Yeah.
screened them all, and I went online, I did bed bug,
Do
whatever.
your research
Registry.
before, yeah.
Yeah.
It's in
yeah,
Vancouver.
yeah.
You can see
Yeah.
the full blocks.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's the Carfax for
Done.
places with
Yeah.
bed bugs.
Yeah,
Oh, it's
exactly.
so awful.
Exactly.
We've had a few times too where we have a lot of spiders because we have a garden, and they always come into the house because that's just like what they do. And I always get bit by spiders, but sometimes like
I'm scratching one right now.
there's a
actually.
carpet beetle which has a similar bite to a bed bug, and that's what I've had sometimes. And I'm like, oh fuck, ma, because it's like the most traumatic thing you
bugs
can
is the
go
worst.
through.
It's invasive
awful.
to have that stuff in your place. My first
Yes.
ever, when I moved into my mom's house, the first place I moved into had cockroaches and mice. And so a
Where
mouse
was
could just
that?
come into my bedroom in the middle of the night, and it was a horrible feeling because you can never escape it.
No.
You can't do anything.
Nope.
This is in May 13th.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Ew.
And I told the landlord, he's like, yeah. I'm like, that's not the reaction you're supposed to have
No.
to this infestation.
That's
So I started
disgusting.
keeping all my food in the fridge
Yeah.
because they can't get in there.
The worst
Yeah.
is like, well, do you know what I'm dealing with now? It was those little fruit flies, little aphid
Yeah,
things or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Like they're everywhere.
Yeah.
Even if I have no food out or nothing, they're there.
Yeah.
So I Googled how to like kill them or just get rid of them. You have to get like vinegar and like dishwashing soap
Yeah,
and
dish soap and
something
vinegar,
else,
yeah.
right? Put a little trap there. I don't know if they're getting smarter or what. But these guys, like, they're not
They're
even going
adaptable, dude.
anymore, man. I'm poking the
Yeah.
holes. You would put like
Well,
a saran
Look, there's
wrap.
one that's flying around as we're talking about them.
Yes.
Oh,
He's
man,
like,
he's eavesdropping. He's
"Hey,"
going to
he's
report.
They know
reminding-
they're gonna
Yeah.
talk to their
Ooh.
cousins and be like, "I'm good at catching them now. What do you got to do if you clap them? Like, you know, when people want to clap those bugs, you got to go up in an up motion to get that vortex. So suck them in. And
Yeah,
So
totally.
people are talented.
People just try to go like right in
talented.
front.
Yeah, yeah.
You got to come up from the bottom like a V
Yeah.
cone kind of thing, and it's not.
You should
Suck
be a
'em in.
YouTube vlogger and say, "This is how you kill bugs." I have
Show
one
you.
tip to share as well. I stayed in a yurt once. It wasn't a real yurt because
What's
I
a
don't
yurt?
do camping.
Yurt?
A yurt is like this. I believe the origin might be Mongolia, but I could be incorrect. I'm probably not right with that. Anyway, it's like sort of like a glorified tent, and they're like circular at the top instead
Is
of
it like
pointed.
Midsummer?
Yeah, which I haven't seen yet.
We're so scared of it.
Let's go then.
It's
Let's all
the
go.
we already saw it, but it's like the white Get Out.
It is. It is.
It's like the,
The
white,
Get Out.
Get out.
Oh, I thought you said ghetto. I was like, interesting.
White Get Out.
Totally. Yeah. I mean,
That
let's
just freaked the
It's
crap out of me,
It's
man.
actually like I can't stop thinking about it.
the Midsummer. I have only seen the trailer, and to be honest, I didn't really have like it didn't have an effect.
I had to
on
go
me.
watch Aladdin after just to like
Yeah, he had
Really?
to cleanse his
to cleanse
brain.
my brain with some
Wow.
Disney.
So you actually saw Midsummer.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
saw.
yeah.
Yeah, I saw
You
it.
guys
too.
saw it. Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
okay. So like, what is it about a cult or something?
Yeah, but it's well researched in reality of
Oh.
certain things.
Yeah.
Swedish Vikings would do.
Oh.
and it it's so unforgiving and mean spirited in some ways where you're just
I
like,
was
oh,
mad. Like, what was it, 35 minutes, 40 minutes in? I was like, how is this? And they're staying?
Yeah. Well, they have no choice really.
Because
But
that's the cult mentality, right? As you follow
you know
them
what's
till the
crazy
end.
though? I really get antsy if movies
Yeah.
are too long. Every
Yeah.
80 minutes.
Oh,
for
he
me.
wasn't moving itch.
Yeah.
He was still.
Oh yeah.
Everyone,
Oh.
Then he's like, I go to the bathroom. Goes to the bathroom, comes back still.
Yeah, scared. And then this movie was 2.5 hours long, and I was like,
Oh, it's too long.
no.
No, you were so into it.
You don't even
You don't
notice
even realize
it. Yeah,
it.
you're not on your phone.
Yeah.
Popcorn maybe, but that's about it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Caramel.
By the way, we're like
preferably.
the movie crew. We go to movies
Yeah.
together.
Oh, we should
Yeah,
start
hello.
rating these movies, like do like reviews after.
yeah.
You're supposed to invite me to them.
I'm sorry.
Come on, guys.
James, you're part of the James Cineplex crew.
Cineplex.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
You're
Louise
part
wanted
of
to
the
talk
OG.
about this. I actually want to address this.
Is James Cineplex here?
James Cineplex. Where's my glasses? Oh,
Is-
James Cineplex.
Can I summon him?
Yes,
May
yes,
I?
yes.
James
Hold on.
Cineplex.
How did this
We're-
even start? We were out front of a movie theater and we saw a Lamborghini pull up, and
The
then
first
Devon
time I met
started,
Devon.
He started clowning on his. It's like, oh, James Cineplex is here to check out his own theater, and then he started doing the character, and it's James Cineplex trying to invite you into his own cinema,
Even
that
though he doesn't even own it.
He doesn't own it, and he has to buy tickets too. Is
Because
basically
he's
the
just
way.
like the indirect
he is.
heir.
You
Oh,
talking about James Cineplex? I heard my name. I heard my name through the grapevine, so I had to come check it out. Yeah, my name is James Cineplex. I drive a F1 Ferrari, and I pull up in front of my movie theater just to make sure everything's being copacetic inside. So I go inside and I talk to the ticket lady. I was like, how's the ripping of the tickets today? And she goes, it's fine. I'm like, perfect. James Cineplex, want to make sure everything's A-okay, right? Then we also go over to the snack section. You know, that's where the cafeteria, we have the popcorn. And I make sure the popcorn's at the approximate degree of, 45. I don't know what it is, but I'm James Cineplex. I'm more care about the movies, not the food.
Right. You're a bit of a cinephile, right?
You can say that, but
Yeah.
mi casa, su casa, but sa casa's mi, sa casa.
Right.
oh
Sue.
my God.
I mean, that
Wow.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, what kind of special events do you foresee coming up at your cinema?
I'm planning on doing like a brunch party.
Okay.
At
Ooh.
we're gonna do Midsummer. We're gonna
Oh.
play a couple movies and do a bunch of movies back to
Rosé.
back.
Rosé.
A little
Rosé.
rosé. We're gonna have some mimosas on special as well.
Yep.
Okay.
Mhm. Okay. Yep.
Bottomless mimosas because
Ooh.
Wow.
James
Ooh.
Cineplex is we go deep.
Yeah,
right,
no
right,
kidding.
right.
Yeah, we go deep.
What's your favorite film, James?
Are we talking in 2019, 2018, 2017, or 2016?
Let's
2016.
say 2006.
2006. Oh, my favorite movie in 2006 has to be ATL.
Right.
With T.I.
Fair.
and
Fair.
Lulu.
Yeah, fair.
Because you
Totally.
know what? It brought the skate culture into the Cineplex.
Right. Which is where you're most comfortable.
Of course, I love to skate.
Yeah,
Was
yeah.
ATL 2006?
I don't know. I just
I
hope
think
so
it was
because
2008, James.
well, it's James Cineplex never wrong.
Okay.
Yeah, he doesn't
Okay.
fact check.
We
That's
don't
the thing
fact
about
check.
him. He doesn't really investigate. But
What's
what he-
facts?
I don't know.
Exactly.
I never heard
it's
of them.
a word. Somebody made that word up and added it to being true to something when it's not. James Cineplex knows all. Where's my mug?
You're in the business of fantasy, man. I respect
Hey,
that.
I love it. So, I'm going to put to my another movie theater that I have downtown. We're going to build that as well. It's going
Yeah.
to be called Cineplex Max.
Okay.
Ooh.
What's the
Yeah.
difference between that one?
Well, the Cineplex Max, you get the best visual of your movie. Everybody likes this
okay.
AVX and HD.
Yeah.
I'm bringing in the Max
Right.
HP.
Oh.
Unheard of. Trust me. You're just going
Wow.
to blow your guys' mind.
I heard your movies are actually in 4 dimensions.
Oh, of course.
So
You're
it's
there.
around your whole.
You're there. So if
Yeah.
you look left, you're seeing your co-star. You look right, you're seeing your main star.
You're the star of your
Wow.
own
You're the
movie.
star of your own movie.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, see, no one even thinks outside the box. Everyone's out worrying about thinking outside the box. I'm thinking outside the sphere.
Oh my God, that's very profound.
It is. James Cineplex is a profound human being, so.
I can tell.
I know.
Yeah.
I think about him a lot. I really
James, would you ever maybe write your own movie?
I mean, I'm writing it right now. My life is a movie.
Right.
You see what I rolled in today, bro?
Yeah,
You see
yeah.
that Ferrari?
Yeah, yeah.
That's literally like me driving down. This could be Bad Boys 4 right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Yep.
like, why the flames on the side of your Ferrari?
Because I want to show people how much I'm burning ish up. Call that muscle power, horsepower. That's stallion power.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah.
like a new
That's
kind of.
unicorn power. Everyone's on this horsepower.
Yeah.
Get you a unicorn power.
Yeah,
yeah.
This is a 500 horse unicorn power vehicle.
I heard you invented unicorn power.
Of course.
Yeah.
James Cineplex invents everything.
I still got rodent power. I'm like below that. Probably.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
use and utilize right now? I heard you guys talking about it earlier. Bed bug power.
Oh, well,
They're
that's
pretty unstoppable.
useful.
They're unstoppable.
They'll be
Yeah.
around after we are.
Yeah.
You know, like the
Way long.
cockroaches.
I'm going to have little Cineplex bed bug babies all over the place.
They're like little,
Wow.
even smaller bed bugs.
I hear that movie theaters are one of the most common places to get bed bugs. So
Oh, well.
maybe.
You're tapping into my gold mine there. That's where I was going with this, Louise. Thank you. But yes,
You're
I've been
welcome.
low key planting some bed bugs in my theater so then they can trap in. I'm gonna get them to go into the minds of my consumers as they sleep to see what they actually like, and then I'm gonna transform it into my movie theaters.
You're marketing
Hence why
genius.
the Cineplex Max is coming out next year.
Right,
Wow.
right.
Yeah.
I am.
Wow.
I am excited. Are you excited?
I can't wait.
I can't wait.
Like if you ride around Vancouver and you see a bunch of like buildings getting demolished and you
Mm-hmm.
think, oh my god, they're building condos. No, they're building Cineplexes.
So-
James Cineplex.
Well, this sounds pretty exclusive. Will Louise and I be able to get in? You
Of
think?
course, VIP for both of you guys.
Thank goodness.
You know,
God. Mm-hmm.
I'm doing a thing where people can get unlimited VIP.
Wow.
Right? And it can be passed down to generations.
It's like bottomless mimosas, but.
But
yeah.
for
for life.
your status. That's
You know
cool.
how Scotiabank has these scene points.
Mm-hmm.
So if you purchase enough stuff, you could get free movies.
Yeah.
I'm doing that just because on your base of your coolness,
Oh, I like that.
and then you get free movies for life.
Wow.
Ooh.
Okay.
Pay me, bouncers you pay, I have to slip them a little 50.
Yeah.
Boom, to get in the club, you slip me, 150 because I'm
Yeah,
more
yeah,
than a
yeah.
bouncer. I get you in free movies for the rest of your life. It's
That's-
pretty cool.
Sounds fair to me.
I think that's a great deal.
Yeah, yeah. I
Let's
like
shake
how
on
you
it.
take ideals that have worked in one thing and just move it over to your other thing you do.
You're very innovative.
Like you had such success with bed bugs that you were like, I'm just going to combine that with movies.
Yeah.
Keep telling me how good I am, please. I love
Oh,
this.
you're
This is
a
amazing.
genius.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say beyond a genius.
Yeah, what's the next level after genius?
I mean, honestly, it's just like you become the internet. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah,
You
yeah.
just
He
become
is the
digital.
internet.
Yeah, he is
I'm
the
the
internet.
internet of the movie space, I know.
yeah,
yeah,
dude.
I
You're like
really are.
GeoCities, man.
Yeah, you're a bit of a
GeoCities.
Yeah, yeah.
I like
what,
that.
Angel
Yeah.
Fire.
Angel Fire, yeah.
I like how I just came over here and took over the interview. This is amazing.
Yeah, yeah. You're the host now of this podcast. I don't even know that happened.
You know I'm stealing your idea as we speak.
That's
gonna
fine.
do
I'm used to it.
You know what I'm thinking I'm doing? At the end of each movie,
Uh-huh.
have a good podcaster come through there and review the movie with everybody else in the movie theater,
Yeah.
and we can have a Q&A.
Oh,
we don't
yeah.
need the actors and stuff. We just need our minds in
Yeah,
there.
and
right?
headsets for
Boom.
every single
It's
person
like the
in the audience.
internet, but live.
Wow. Wow.
silence. I have no words.
Yeah.
Once again, James Cineplex has left me without words.
I mean, I'm always
Is that bug
speechless.
on my Ferrari?
Oh, you better go get it, James.
Yeah, I got it. I'll be right back.
Okay.
There's a bug on my
Okay.
Ferrari.
Bye.
I'm just so thankful that CEO stopped by to just give us some advice. Devon, you wouldn't believe what you just missed, actually.
Man, what was that? I was in the bathroom. I just
no,
kind of
man.
like.
It was
forgot everything.
crazy.
It's
It's
weird
insane you haven't
I
met
just saw
him yet.
James Cineplex
Yeah,
walk out.
yeah.
But
Yeah,
have
he
you
said
guys
something
met,
about his
though?
Ferrari. And
Have you guys met before?
No, I mean,
No.
I've seen him in passing, but we've never stopped and chat. He looks like a handsome
It's
fellow.
so weird because I
He's a
always want to
handsome dude.
introduce you two, but you never seem to be in the same room at the same
Yeah.
time.
Yeah,
Get the
yeah.
out of here.
Yeah.
That's like how people say they never see me without Kevy, which is
That is
kind
true.
of funny.
Yeah.
I heard we're the
It's
same
true.
person, and I believe it.
I've definitely heard that rumor, and I would say that I agree. Though
Yeah.
somehow there's a mirror trick being played on me right now.
Yeah,
'cause
yeah.
There
Well,
are
this,
two separate
this
entities.
episode is directed by David Copperfield.
Oh, okay.
So,
well, that's fair.
Yeah.
I was
That's
gonna say
fair.
David Blaine, but that's neither here nor there. I like
Just
you know.
some David,
David
with
Blaine.
a wand.
Or Chris Angel, mind freak.
Yeah.
Chris Angel.
What happened to Chris Angel?
Chris Angel and David Blaine. One of them looks like Guy Osiri, who used to work
From
at
Maverick.
who is They look kind of similar.
Chris Angel hangs out with Korn now.
Oh, that
the
makes
band
sense.
Korn.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay, this is really random.
Okay, I'm ready.
On a car trip recently, we played the game Fuck, Marry, Kill.
Right.
And the candidates were
You know it's funny when.
it's probably not no
James Cineplex.
Kid Rock,
Yeah.
Jonathan Davis,
Yeah.
and Fred Durst.
Oh.
Guess who I said I would marry?
Kid Rock.
No.
Fred Durst.
Yeah.
She would fuck Kid Rock.
No. Oh, you know what? That's where I had issues. I wasn't sure what to do because I don't know
Issues,
anything
the
about
Korn album.
Jonathan Davis. Like, what is he all about?
Jonathan Davis collects serial killer memorabilia. He
and his
scores
wife
movies.
recently passed away, right?
Right.
So-
she was a porn
okay,
actress.
Okay.
He's a singer of Korn. And he's a great artist. He's definitely the best artist of the three of them.
And
he grew up listening to Duran Duran and Depeche Mode, and
Oh.
he would do autopsies on people as a teenager.
That paints a bit of a more specific picture for me. Whereas Kid Rock, I feel like he's a bit of a Ted Nugent, like sort of like
Yeah. Like you definitely hate your diet.
and that out of there. I hate talking to people about vegetarianism that
Yeah.
are like, but you're wrong. It's
Yeah.
boring.
Why do
and
people
I
get
feel
so
like
offended about you not eating animals? What a weird thing to be upset
it's
about.
really odd. It's very weird. Growing up in a small town that was like farming community and a lot of like, people who love meat near Alberta, it's just always like annoying because it'd be like,
Stick up for yourself for no reason all the time.
yeah,
That happened
yeah.
the other day. Like, 'cause I went for like 3 weeks with like not eating meat, like pescatarian kind of thing. I still
Yeah.
like eggs and stuff, but just no
Yeah,
chicken.
yeah.
And then I went to like that barbecue thing, and then
Yeah.
they were making stuff, and they're like, "You want meat?" And a lot of the guys were from like Alberta, Calgary, and stuff, where I was from. And then they're like, "Oh, do you want?" Somebody was like, "No, I'm just not eating meat right now." One of them was like, "What?
Oh.
You gay?" I'm like, "What
What?
does that
They
have to
said
do
that?
with not eating meat?"
That's so. Why would they say
But
that?
that's because they have no logical reason or
Yeah.
explanation to express how they feel. So the first thing they do is some stupid shit that
yeah.
And
they're
also
probably
gay-
insecure with, right?
Yeah.
So that's the first thing they're gonna blurt out, which
Yeah.
makes no sense.
Yeah.
And
Like-
gay dudes definitely eat meat.
That's what I was gonna say. That's what I told them. I was like,
True.
that's actually the opposite.
Accurate.
They love meat.
Accurate.
They
yeah,
have the
there
most
you go.
meat in their mouth than anybody else. I'm just trying to say. If you look at the percentages, I mean,
That's true.
but
I wanted to hear. Wait a second. We were talking about the hotels. You mentioned it's definitely haunted. Have you two ever had ghost experiences?
Oh, did I not tell you about the Yukon?
Tell me about the Yukon.
God. Okay.
Have a sip of water
going to
first.
Yukon.
So I did this amazing songwriting residency in Dawson City in the Yukon in 2016. And the whole thing is like they fly you up and they put you up at this house that's just for artists year round called the Macaulay House. And you can Google this. It's not something I'm making up. So I get there, I get to the house. It's like this giant, seriously, Google it. It's this giant house built in like the turn of the century during the gold rush in the Yukon. It was the mayor's house and it was like a juvenile delinquent center, I'm told. The history of the house is there's actually a book written on this house because of this.
Wow.
I get there and I go out and I do my first hang out with the people in the town who are amazing. Like Dawson City is an amazing place, but every single person was like, "So have you seen the ghost yet?" And I'm talking the mayor, professors from their arts college, like everyone said that to me. Every fucking person I met was like, "Have you seen the ghost yet?" And I'm
In
like,
that house?
yeah. I'm like, no. And then as I lived there for the month, I just kept having these stories being told to me of like people who had cleaned it at one
scaring
point.
you?
You know, I never really believed in ghosts until that trip, and now I do. I never saw a ghost, but I felt like the thing. I felt the energy.
The murder aura we were talking about earlier?
It wasn't a murder aura. It was more like a stuck feeling, you know? And
Like you're being watched, maybe?
yeah, and there was one moment when I went to bed at night, and I was in this what I thought was the master bedroom, and I'm in bed, and I'm listening to my sleeping meditation podcast or whatever, and I hear this like knocking on the closet door, and I was like, that's totally just my podcast. I'm just gonna forget about it. But like, it totally wasn't. It was like a knocking from the inside of my closet, and that's apparently where one of the ghosts was. This little girl who was locked in there because her dad was mad at her and she died. Or it was like it's so crazy. And I still don't know if I totally like. I was researching like the electromagnetic field and what it does to like the feeling of like the pressure in the air or whatever. Like that explains a lot of those like haunted feelings. But I still was very much convinced that there was a ghost there. And all of Dawson City's haunted, from the gold rush and from like the murders and from like a lot of the prostitutes would steal money from these like super rich guys who had struck gold and be like, I'm a millionaire, wanna come fuck me? And they'd be like, cool. And they just take his money, kill him,
That's
and then
a great
leave.
move.
It's amazing, right? Yeah.
They deserve it.
The Yukon's an incredible place.
That's freaky.
Anyway.
I cannot
Do
stay.
you have a ghost story?
I don't have ghost stories, but I have like.
I want to hear... Sorry to interrupt.
No, I was gonna say like the sleep apnea stuff. Wasn't sleep?
Oh, yeah. No,
Sleep
Sleep
paralysis. I have that.
I don't. That's
Wait, have you-
that's spirits. I don't believe that bull crap. That's people. I felt it. I feel it.
Yeah.
I get it. And I get it, but I'm not scared of it. There's one time I had it, and like because you can't open your eyes. You're awake, but you're not, and you can't move your limbs and stuff. But I was like fighting to kind of like open my eyes a little bit, and I seen like a shadowy.
Yep.
Like
I saw that too.
and like, kind of like a shadow. I'm like,
And then
okay.
the
There's one where it's
pressure.
sitting on your chest.
Yeah.
I just felt him like holding my arms down. Like I could see the shadow. I'm like, you mother.
Yeah.
It's funny, and it's dope because I can feel them when they come in the room.
Yeah, for
Like
sure.
as soon as I'm like, I'll be on my bed just chilling. I'm like, okay, something's here. All right, and it's
Yeah.
like preparing myself and kind of whatever. But like that's the most of like I don't see no glasses moving by itself. I don't see nothing flipping.
No, I've never seen that either.
I don't need to see that.
Yeah, for sure.
That's gonna
Yeah.
freak me out.
A couple of my friends from Sweden have seen the floating shit.
Really?
Yeah. So that's why I'm so skeptical about it, and I so want to be haunted.
You know what? They don't choose everyone.
What?
They only
Because I
choose
don't-
certain people.
Okay.
Like it's not for everyone. And I've also like said to them like in the house, I was like, I don't want to see you. Please don't show yourself to me.
Yeah, I don't want to see it.
Yeah, and I just did a lot of like talking to them.
Yeah.
Even though I don't know if that was really I was really
But it's
talking
helping
to
you
them.
to-
It
by
helped
talking
me
to them.
exactly.
Yeah,
It's
that's
sort of
what I would
like
do.
taking like a placebo pill of something. You just you feel better for just doing it. But I don't know. I also had this thought like why are ghosts always old timey? You know what I mean?
They're never young.
Why are they
They
always
don't present any new ghosts?
No,
Like no
that-
one wearing FUBU or something?
no one's wearing early 2000s like
Yeah.
justice culture, like like the headbands and like the American apparel. Like
She
no one's
brings up a good
looking
point.
like
That's a
that.
good
Why are all
point.
the ghosts from like the 40s?
Yeah,
and
dude,
the
they all look
30s?
like Ebenezer
Yeah.
People
Scrooge.
died
Yeah.
in like 98 that you
Yeah,
don't see
yeah.
them come
Yeah.
out now.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Or, like,
yo, what's up? It's
yesterday.
Tupac.
Wearing a
Yeah.
Latrell Sprewell jersey.
Yeah, like I don't
Where are the ghosts of like Tupac and Aaliyah and
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I don't know
you
like
know why those ghosts?
'Cause they're
they're
not
haunting
dead?
people online now.
Yeah.
They're
that's
haunting
true.
people through like their
That's
social
true.
medias. They're
Yeah,
not doing it
yeah.
in real life no more because no one's out here. Everyone's on here.
Yeah.
So they're gonna like send you like they're ghosting you when you
Oh,
text someone. That's probably a real
That's
ghost.
probably their fault. Yeah.
Yeah.
I never thought about the digitization of a haunting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
so interesting.
When
That's-
you like a girl and they don't message you back. Ooh.
Yeah.
I hear that's the
Scary.
script James Cineplex is writing, actually.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
good one.
you kind of mentioned that. He drove off
Yeah.
in his Ferrari.
Oh, he's like, I got
really-
the script.
I got the
Yeah.
script of the century, bro.
That's a really good script actually.
So wait a second. So because your band was signed so young, did you ever have the opportunity to get a terrible day job when you were younger?
No, I didn't because we were signed.
Lilix was your day job as a 15-year-old.
Yeah, probably.
Wow.
Because we started when I was 11 and I tried babysitting, but I'm not good with kids. Like
Yeah,
straight up,
yeah.
I don't get it. I never have. And I can be around them now because a lot of my friends have children and like I probably want a kid one day, but I'm not naturally like, you know what I mean? So, nobody really wanted me to babysit their kids in the neighborhood.
That's
so
a girl who doesn't care about children at all.
yeah, she doesn't care what my child does. And I
Yeah.
had a few like babysitting jobs and they just didn't. And so I'd often, I don't know, like do we played a lot of gigs around town that would pay, but you know,
Wow.
when you're that young and you live in a
cool,
small
Louise.
town, you don't need money.
Yeah.
Like you don't
Yeah,
need
yeah.
money. I didn't drive. I
Yeah.
would go to like my friends' birthday parties and like
Yeah.
steal my parents' alcohol. Like
You
sorry.
did?
Yeah. Like started drinking when I was like 14. That's what you
Yeah.
do in a small town, right?
That's the first
what
time
you
I got
do.
drunk too. I was 13,
Yeah.
and it was off moonshine.
That's brutal. Mine was off a shit mix, so. Oh no, yeah.
Doesn't sound like a good drink at all.
Yeah.
Shit mix.
I mean, it's just everything.
Oh,
in a
it's
Mix
water
whatever's
bottle.
left
Like
that you have and
perfume and like
Grenadine.
avocado mix.
Yeah, basically grenadine, scotch, gin, vodka.
Oh my God.
Vermouth, like everything
you
in a water
blind
bottle,
after?
shit mix, and you
Yeah.
yeah, basically it
like
was
not
awful.
mix it straight, just take sips.
You
swigs.
just take sips, and it was like I'd do a lot of straight vodka because you're
Yeah.
told no, your parents can't smell it on your breath, which is so ridiculous.
Uh-huh.
Anyway,
That's like saying you can't get a girl pregnant if you.
Yeah,
if
yeah.
she
Yeah.
riding.
Yeah, it
You can't
doesn't
get
make
the
any
gravity.
it doesn't make any
The gravity.
yeah.
As
Yeah.
a physicist, I'm gonna debunk that.
Yeah. Guess what? Not fucking true.
Yeah.
And we were signed when I was 15. Got a signing bonus, and I was very frugal with my money because
Mm.
my dad was like, "Don't spend it. You're gonna be broke one day because you're a musician." He was
Yeah.
fair. He was right,
Mm-hmm.
but I think my first real job was when I was about 20. I started working for Renegade Rehearsal Spaces.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
forgot about that when
Yeah.
me and you bumped into each other outside of Radiohead, and I saw your
Yeah.
boss tell a cop to shut up.
Oh my god.
Her old boss is amazing.
It was insane.
Because they were jaywalking, and that police officer's like, "Hey, sir, can you please?" And he's like, "Shut up!"
Yeah, it was insane. It was
And he
Talk
got
about
away with it.
privilege. Wow.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Shut up.
insane.
Shit was fucking
So that
incredible.
was-
Cop dude.
He was like, I guess I should shut up.
Yeah. Okay.
like,
Okay, I will.
yeah.
I will.
10:43. I'll shut up.
Sorry.
10:43.
I can't talk right now.
Okay, I better shut up.
I can't talk right now, guys.
I can't talk right now, guys. One time out.
Yeah, that was a nutty time. A lot of weirds. That's how I met a lot of people, though, as
Yeah.
well through Renegade. And then I worked at Section 3,
Oh yeah.
which
It's
is
like a bar in Yaletown.
a bar lounge. I was a busser because basically my friend Jason Corbett, who you knew,
Yeah.
I was hanging out there every day because my friends worked there, and I was just there. And he's like, "Do you want to just like work here so you can just get paid to hang out?" And I was
Yeah.
like, "Yeah." So I did that for like half a year. Then I just realized the restaurant industry is not for me. I
Yeah.
don't like
I
it.
mean,
you don't even like
It's a
bed bugs,
mess
so I can't even
industry.
imagine.
It's
too
awful.
I can't do it. I worked at Moxie's for like 7 months.
Oh,
yeah.
So
yeah.
I was like,
Yeah,
and then my brother's been in the industry for he's still in the industry now, so I kind of heard stories from him, and then me
Yeah.
trying it for myself. I was like, yeah, this is definitely not for me.
If I was smart, I would have forced myself to be good at it because I tried to get a restaurant job like a few years ago when I was a student, and I was just like, I had to get something, but
Yeah.
I suck at it. I don't like it, and I don't care. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
oh, you don't like your food? I don't care. I don't care. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't feel passionate about the place I was working at. However, doing like the back end of restaurant work I like that stuff. Like, I worked
Yeah.
for Shira at the Acorn doing like inventory and invoicing, and I loved it. It was so satisfying. But public service,
Yeah.
I just don't like that. I'm not good at it, you know?
What about your worst? Oh, I know your worst day job story is when you were at the phone store in New York and that guy came in and said he was supposed to shoot you in the face.
Yo.
You worked at a phone store
didn't
in
even
New
like that,
York,
yeah.
and you
I
got
worked-
threatened
I
with a
moved to
gun.
New York in 2012, and I got a job at AT&T.
Are you American?
No, I'm Canadian, but I got my papers.
Oh, okay.
I
Good
didn't
for
marry
you.
nobody.
Good for you.
So I got a job at AT&T. It was like a storefront store. So I was usually the first one there to open up, and then we're supposed to kind of like close down the gate as we're like inside counting the money, but the lights are off, so it's usually pretty dark. No one really kind of go inside to see if anyone's in there. So I'm like counting the money. All of a sudden I heard ding ding, and the door opens. I see this kind of guy. He looks like, I don't want to judge a homeless person, but when you see someone, you kind of have a gauge. Okay, maybe he slept on the street last night.
Yeah.
Right?
The body language is a
Body
little,
language
yeah.
and the odor a little bit. So you're like, okay. So he comes up. He's like, hey, I want to purchase a phone. And I'm like, we're not open right now. And he's like, oh, so cool. Well, can I borrow $1,000? And I'm like, and like I was counting the money under the counter. And then as soon as he said that, I was like, huh? I just kind of lowered the money.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I don't have $1,000. I was like, okay, well, I just got out of jail, man. I need somewhere to stay, man. Can I stay with you for a bit? And I'm like, I live my cousin, there's no room for you. Where are you gonna stay? Like in my closet? He's like, yeah, I'll stay in your closet. I was like, no, man, you can't. Now at this point, I'm just trying to talk to him. Like, I'm not trying to get rude. I'm just having conversation.
Yeah.
I was like, listen, bro, you can't stay in my closet. Like, what are you gonna pay me in? Like,
Yeah.
you can't pay me in toilet paper. He's like, well, I don't even use toilet paper.
Oh, well, that's
And I was like,
great
whoa, that's a timeout. Wait, hold on.
Forget about it. Come on.
Like, you know what?
I
You're
was
right.
like, wait, you don't use toilet paper? I was like, what? So how do you wipe your ass? Like, when you take a shit. He's like, oh, I use my hand. As soon as he said that, I'm looking at it. My eyes are glued to his hand now. Because I'm like, wherever he put that hand down, I'm sanitizing the ish out of that spot. So I was looking at his hand and I'm looking at him. So I'm worrying about two things. Like, okay, what I'm going to do. Then I was like, okay, well, where do you... He's like, oh, and jail was so nice. Jail was so good. I was like, where were you? He's like, I was in Rikers Island. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, I heard it's pretty rough there. He's like, no, it's not rough there. It's not rough at all, man. Every night they give us warm milk and cookies and we had a nice flat screen TV in our cells. And I'm like... I refuse to believe that, but okay. Yeah. So then I was like, again, I'm just trying to talk to him, make him like, okay, if it was so good, why did you leave, or why did you just stay? And he's like, oh well, that's what I asked the judge. I wanted to stay. And you know what the judge told me to do if I want to stay in jail? And I was like, what did the judge tell you to do if you want to stay in jail? He's like, got to go to the nearest AT&T store and kill the employee. Yeah. And I was like, I looked down at my name tag. I look back at the wall and it says AT&T, and I'm like, I work at AT&T.
Oh my
And then as soon as he said that, and my realization of like, okay, this is, first of all, now when you think about it, like, I'm in New York. If you're a Canadian, you might see some shit like that on the TV and you're like, huh, look at America.
Yeah.
But now, no, I'm in the belly of the beast.
Yeah.
I'm in their backyard. I could be on the news, right? So as soon as he said that, luckily somebody else came to the door, like another customer. And I was like, hey, man, I'll help you.
Yeah. Oh my
Go
God.
help him or whatever. And then he ended up just walking out.
That's such a close call.
Yeah. That kind of like freaked. Because what was going through my head was like, when he's like, I got to kill the employee. What was going through my head was like, okay, I'm going to have to fight this dude. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
2, he has a shitty hand, so I got to watch out for the shitty hand.
Watch out for that right hook.
Right out
Watch out
for that right hook.
Yeah.
You have to watch out for that right
That was
hook
my
for a
whole
lot
thing. I
of
was like, I
reasons.
got to fight a guy with a shitty hand. Like, that was the whole, like...
That gives that punch a whole new power, you know?
Yeah.
But that was just one incident. Other than that, working at that store was pretty dope. I worked there for like a year. I worked there for the whole time I was there.
Really?
Like a year and a half. Yeah, it was fun. I
Signing
met a lot of
people
dope
up.
people, a lot of dope like people in the community, and like had good conversations with them. That was a good job, man. I had fun.
What neighborhood?
That was in Brooklyn. That was
Cool.
in Canarsie.
Huh.
And it was fun, man. And it was crazy how everything worked out because I just moved there. Like I moved there on a Sunday, and I had all my stuff with me, and I was applying online for jobs. And I was like, yeah, I applied. Then Monday, I get a call from AT&T, and they're like, oh yeah, we seen that you submitted online. You want to come in for an interview on Thursday? I'm like, cool. Going for the interview on Thursday. They liked me. I started the following Monday, and the location where it was right behind my cousin's house.
What?
Like literally right behind it. And my cousin just moved to that location 6 months prior.
How amazing.
So I was like, ooh,
It's
this is
a
supposed to this is a sign.
It's a sign.
I love these signs. But yeah,
That's
so it was
nice.
pretty cool. But
That's good.
I've had worser jobs. Like, well, not worser, just like I didn't like the job.
Yeah.
I worked at Home Outfitters.
What is that?
That's like it's like a Home Sense.
Like yeah.
like
the winners.
Like the winners, but they had like bath, they had bedding.
Yeah.
So it's
I
kind of
go
like
there
a
all
Bed
the
Bath
time.
and Beyond, but it's
Yeah.
called Home Outfitters, right? And like I was like 16 working there, and I was like, I don't know shit about like kitchen appliances, duvets. I don't know nothing. So when they hired me, I asked the manager like, hey, so do you guys have like a training program or something that I have to go through? She's like, no, just act like you know what you're talking about. And I was like, easy breezy.
I can do that.
Yo, we'd have customers come in. She would have like a Black & Decker blender and like a KitchenAid blender. Excuse me, which blender is the best blender? And I'm like, well, it depends what you're trying to blend. If you're trying to blend that ice, the Black & Decker has a stronger blades because it's very slick and it's sleek and it cuts the ice in a very therapeutic way. Whereas if you have the kitchen, I'm just talking out of my asshole.
Like, I'm actually surprised you didn't know that.
And
You're,
like,
like,
I was like, I'm surprised you didn't know that.
Surprised you didn't know this already. But
She's like, I like your opinion. Grabs the Black & Decker and gets the F out.
Wow.
Yeah. People will call in from other locations. Like, hi, we're she's on the system. You have so-and-so available, 3 in stock. Can you check it out? I'm like, yeah, 1 second. Put them on hold. Just chill there for like 5 minutes.
No, we don't have them.
Nah, we don't have it.
That's amazing.
That's great. I used to do it at a call center I worked at.
Oh, that's That's
Like, let me put you through to my supervisor because they can definitely answer that. And I just hang up on them.
Hang up on them.
And there's so many people that work there, they call back and get someone else, and I don't deal with it.
Exactly. I think my call got
Yeah,
disconnected.
it's so weird. But I always get disconnected every single call ever.
Yep, let somebody else
so
do
weird.
this.
That's so weird. I wonder why that's happening.
Yeah.
Let Pam deal with this guy.
Yeah.
So Devon, why did you leave New York and come back?
Well, the reason why I was in New York, and then I was staying with my cousin, and the cousin I was staying with, she was planning to move to Atlanta. So then I was like, okay, let me look for a place for myself in New York, and it's expensive, so I couldn't afford to. Even though I was working like full-time hours, I was making like $8 an hour plus commission, or $10 an hour plus commission at AT&T, which is like nothing. So it was either go back to Toronto or come here. And I had a friend who was doing radio at the time in Toronto, because I went to school for radio, so I kind of knew him from there. He's like, hey, I'm doing an afternoon drive. You could come over. You could be like my street correspondent. Because we used to do podcasts, and he thought it was, he liked how it was funny and stuff. He was trying to throw me a bone. I was like, yeah, for sure. So I literally went to Toronto one weekend, found like a basement apartment, came back to New York, started packing my stuff. And then this is so random. My dad calls me out of nowhere. He's like, oh, so you're moving back to Toronto? I was like, yeah, I'm going to work with my friend. He does his radio station. He's like, okay. Is that guaranteed? Like, you signed the papers and it's good to go? And I was like, no, not yet. But, he told me you could get me. He's like, well, that makes no sense. You're going to go back to Toronto to a job that's not confirmed. You have all these bills. You're going to have a place to pay for rent. It's really hard to find a job over there. Does that make sense? And I was like, hold that thought. So I called my friend. And I was like, hey, is that job for sure? He's like, no, it's not for sure. I could get you an interview, but I can't guarantee the job. Which makes sense. He's not a program director. He's not. He's just an on-air talent. I was like, okay, I got you. Wish you were a little clearer at the beginning. We go from there. So then now I'm thinking, what do I want to do? I can move back to Toronto, and I can maybe get the job with him and get a dead-end job, which I'm cool with, and maybe dabble into acting. Or I could come to Vancouver, get a dead-end job, which I'm cool with already, and continue this acting journey.
Wow.
Boom, came to Vancouver.
Yeah.
And he came here. X-Files. Boom.
X-Files.
Right away.
Boom.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, not really X-Files, but boom. But I got an agent right away, like maybe in a month, and then I started doing background work for like a couple months, and then I had that first agent for a couple of years, and then when I got my second agent, that's when things started to actually get. I got
That's
Walmart.
So cool.
That's right. Oh, yeah. He was a dad in a Walmart commercial.
Yeah.
Youngest dad ever.
Yeah.
I was
And
gonna
then he was a barista like 3 times, which makes no sense for him to get typecast
I don't know
as that.
why I look like I could make a good frappuccino.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. Wow.
Can I just say that the homicidal maniac that came in and threatened you at AT&T sounded a lot like James Cineplex?
Yeah. You know what?
Uh-oh. And he was asking for money. How do you think he kick-started his company?
Did he look like he had bed bugs?
And that's an hour, guys. That's an hour. That's a good way to go out,
What a
I think.
callback.
Yeah.
We started with bed bugs. We end with bed bugs.
That's right. That's right. We know how to wrap it up.
Thank you, my friends. We're doing... This comes out next week. Do you have shows coming up this summer?
I have a tour coming up in November, but I haven't announced it yet.
Okay.
But yeah, basically I have nothing to announce
just
yet.
Keep watching your socials.
Just
It's
watch
fine.
my
It's
social
fine.
media. I'm very funny.
Yeah.
Just kidding. I often
you're
forget.
You're so
Funny.
funny, and you told that story great. I don't know why you were
Exactly.
apprehensive about
Yeah,
that.
you know.
Exactly.
Thanks,
Yeah,
guys.
yeah.
Appreciate
You
it.
got good stories.
Yeah.
We didn't even have to help you at all.
Exactly.
That's true.
We were
Okay.
ready. We
We
were
were
waiting
ready
in
to
the
spot.
wings.
We were ready to spot you with the weights, but you didn't need a spot. You
Yeah,
pumped
yeah,
that
yeah.
all by
No
yourself.
training wheels.
Got
No
this.
training
Look,
wheels.
man, no hands.
Yeah.
And then I'm sure you have a Hallmark movie you're in.
No, I got nothing coming up. I mean, I just did auditioning and stuff, and I did it.
This guy auditions like all week, every week. It's
Yeah,
so
I
crazy.
just stay busy though. That keeps the juices of creativity kind of going. Even if I don't land them, I've kind of learned to just enjoy the process, and like I'm having fun trying to do good auditions.
Yeah.
Even if I don't get it or not, so
Yeah.
I'm doing the fun in that.
Yeah.
But I did an Amazon Prime commercial a couple weeks ago.
Oh, cool.
It was filmed in Toronto, so that was pretty cool.
You'll
Filmed
just see
that.
him on a commercial randomly when you're in a venue or
I like
something.
that
It's
though.
great.
That's how I
Yeah.
like. I just sprinkle. I just be out there, so you know I'm working. I don't gotta like kind of promote it. I want my work to promote for me. And
Have
then-
you like ever had James Cineplex put you on like the?
He needs to start putting me. I
Wow.
need to do those little promo things when
Yeah.
you're watching
He's
a movie.
probably
Yeah.
pretty powerful casting
I know.
director.
I think he is.
I mean, if you ask him, he'd say yes.
He's a very big deal.
I need to
Yeah.
talk to him.
Yeah,
because
you
he
do.
sounds. I've never set
Yeah.
that up, Kevin. You guys need to
Okay,
set that up.
Yeah,
Same
no
thing.
problem. No
Let's
problem.
go find him right now.
Let's go send him a fax.
Okay,
See
we gotta
what
go.
happens.
Thank you.
Later.
Bye. Thank you for listening to the Comedy Here Often podcast. I've been your host, Kevy. Thank you to Louise Burns and Devon Alexander. Make sure to follow them on social media. And make sure to follow us on social media at Comedy Here Often on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Thank you. Check in with you next week. Bye.